Well, good evening, everybody. From the athletic field here at Upper Dauphin area, we have the graduation tonight of the class of 1999. Commencement exercises getting set to begin here in about 10 minutes or so. In the meantime, we have the family and friends of these 112 or 13 graduates who are gathering here now to watch these proceedings. This has always been a very somber proceeding and very much marking a very special occasion in the life of these young people. So we hope that tonight's crowd is orderly and that we have a very nice reception for these new graduates of Upper Dauphin Area High School. It's a pretty nice evening, temperature-wise, as you can see, mostly a shirt-sleeve crowd, and the weather here on this June 3rd night is in the 70s, and it's a little bit of an overcast night, but really no weather reported to be on the way, so we should be able to get this outdoor event in without any rain or anything like that. We will mention to you while we look at the crowd gathering here that tonight, the Grand Marshal for tonight's procession will be Principal Mr. Jack Herb. The Faculty Marshal is Mr. Thomas Oldham. The Student Marshals are Mrs. Sally Cummins and Mrs. Deborah Eisner. Class officers for the class of 99 are the President is Matthew James Bauer, Vice President Natalie Lynn Motter. The Secretary is Desiree Kirsten Klauser. The Treasury, Taryn Don Wenzel. And the historian is Kelly Susan Drabobis. Class advisors this year are Sally Cummins and Deborah Eisner. Class colors, silver and black. And the class flower is the sunflower. The class song is I Will Remember You. A quote from the class of 1999, future, that period in time in which our affairs prosper, our friends are true, and our happiness is assured. A very positive statement made by Ambrose Bierce. So we'll be set to go now in just a few moments as the students have gathered up by the gymnasium. Our vantage point, not quite like it had been for some other years. We'll have to go to a portable camera here in just a second. But at any rate, they will proceed, of course, down the track, and then they will take their positions in front of the audience. And the faculty, who will file in also wearing their robes of various degrees, will file in over here to the right of the students. The band is assembled on the field. They have tuned up already, and so they're ready to go. And they will be playing Pomp and Circumstance as the young students march in. So we'll be taking a few pictures around of the crowd, and then we'll have the opening of the 1999 commencement activities. Final one for this century, if you look at it that way. So we'll be right back. The main speaker tonight at this commencement is Colonel Paul Evanco of the Pennsylvania State Police. He will have the keynote remarks for tonight's commencement exercise. Students are progressing to the far end of the track now, up near the high school itself, and they'll be getting lined up there and ready to process in for the graduation ceremonies. Final time that these young people will all be together as one group in their entire lives. So it's a event marked with both excitement and a lot of emotion for a lot of these young students. We'll see that on the field afterwards as they say so long to some friends as they go on their own way, some to school, some to work and other fields of endeavor. And it'll be a long time before some of them actually get to see their friends again, with the end of summer at any rate, when classes begin in the fall for those going on to further their education. But it is a time when they can look back at all the great years they've had here at UDA. For the athletes who have run on this field, who have played football, soccer, track, or whatever, it's a moment to look back and reflect on all they have gained here and all they have lost here too, as they played sports, and win or lose, they were Trojans all the way. And so, again, this will be their parting moment on the grassy fields of UDA. There is a breeze blowing. You can notice that on the gowns of these young gals as they line up down here. Pretty good breeze blowing from the west, but otherwise a pretty nice night. Fellas might and girls might have a little trouble keeping their hats on at times, but I'll be sure they'll make out okay. Just about ready now. It's about 3 minutes till 7 o'clock. And they're going to process down here and receive their diploma. Some of them have worked long years. All of them have worked long years to get this. But one of the fellows that was highlighted at class night just last night, a fellow who really enjoyed Upper Dauphin Area High School and grade school and kindergarten, a young fellow in the class of 99 who had perfect attendance from K through 12, kindergarten through 12, 13 years of perfect attendance here. His name escapes me, but I'm sure if you look at the class night video, you will be able to distinguish him, because he got a rousing hand for that accomplishment, and truly he deserved that, that's for sure. That was amazing, and just a tribute to this young lad. So we are ready. Crowd still coming in here now. Of course, this is a very well attended event because all the friends and neighbors and former classmates and whatever here to see the graduating class this evening in their final moment.
Dear God, our Creator, King, and Savior, bless us in this time of celebration. We thank you for our teachers, mentors, and friends who have helped us learn here. Let the happiness of our families infect us all with joy. Let the success of our class renew in our community the confidence and hope in today's youth. We ask your blessing upon all those here this evening in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Amen.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the commencement exercises for the class of 1999. Our distinguished speaker was appointed by Governor Tom Ridge to serve as Commissioner of the Pennsylvania State Police in 1995. He is a veteran with the State Police for 28 years and was the Director of the State Police Bureau of Criminal Investigation. He has attended Millersville University and York College of Pennsylvania. He is also a graduate of the FBI National Academy and the prestigious FBI National Executive Institute. Colonel Ivanko also founded and was a past president of the Pennsylvania Narcotic Officers Association. He also received numerous awards and honors, including Certificate of Award for Distinguished and Meritorious Service, the Humanitarian Award, the Law Enforcement Commendation Medal, and Pennsylvania Meritorious Service Medal, among many others. I now present to you Commissioner of the State Police, Colonel Paul J. Ivanko.
Matt, thank you very much for the introduction, and even more so for the invitation to be with you here tonight to celebrate this graduation ceremony and your commencement. I'm never really sure how I'm going to begin one of these graduation speeches. I had a chance to talk to Governor Ridge before I came here this evening, and because a key component of his administration is educational reform, and he continues to keep that as a priority, he asked me to convey to you his best wishes for success in the future, and that he thinks about each and every one of you. And as he presses forward with the General Assembly on these educational reform issues, he keeps in mind that you're the future of America, so he sends his best wishes. And thanks again for the invitation to be here. This is one of those events that, one of these ceremonies, one of these events, one of these activities that we never forget. It ranks among those activities such as marriage or the death of a close friend or a family member or the birth of a child. This is that one thing that you'll remember for the rest of your lives, literally for the rest of your lives. Superintendent Hills, members of the Upper Dauphin Area School Board, Principal Herb, and particularly members of the Upper Dauphin Area High School class of 1999, families, friends, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. I'd like to begin by offering my heartiest congratulations to those of you in caps and gowns tonight, and to your parents as well. Your graduation tonight is the culmination of many years of hard work and dedication to the pursuit of a very specific and worthwhile goal. It's an important day, a day to celebrate because it marks such a significant success in your lives. But it's important also to realize that this, like all of our successes, is not one alone. Yes, it's a result of your own initiative because no one else could do it but you, but it's also the result of all the time, the patience, the knowledge, and the caring that parents, teachers, and classmates have shared with you along the way. It's only fitting then that we are all together tonight to celebrate what should be rightly considered a mutual success. Matter of fact, earlier I was talking to some of the faculty members about all the excitement and the energy and the enthusiasm that I saw and the emotions that I saw among many of the class members and the faculty. And I said, all this energy. And the one faculty member said, "That's relief, Colonel." Just a joke there, though. My comments tonight are relatively brief, but not without a message I hope will help each of you to continue the success that you're enjoying tonight. This ceremony, this commencement, and I love that because it so clearly defines what's really taking place here tonight. This celebration, and Matt used the word, marks a turning point in your lives. It marks a turning point in your relationship with the world around you. Your lives, as you know them and knew them yesterday, are about to change forever. They're about to become a roller coaster ride into the unknown, a ride that is full of twists and unexpected turns. This dramatic change will inevitably produce a certain amount of uncertainty, anxiety, and even confusion. But it will also provide a lot of thrills and laughter and some very exciting challenges too. What you make of that roller coaster ride, your reactions to those changes and not the changes themselves, will determine your success, your peace of mind, and your happiness. Whenever I speak to our cadets and our young troopers at the State Police Academy, I try to impress upon them the value of maintaining a positive attitude, because attitude has such an important impact on everything we do. One of my favorite authors is Charles Swindoll, and he has a quote that I use in many of my presentations and speeches, and it goes like this: "The longer I live, the more I realize the impact of attitude on life. Attitude is more important than facts and circumstances, than success, than failure, than what other people think or say or do. It will make or break a church, a company, or a home." And the remarkable thing is that we have a choice every single day regarding the attitude that we will embrace for that day. We cannot change the past. We cannot change the fact that people will act in a certain way. We cannot change the inevitable. The only thing that we can do is to play in that one string that we have been given, and that is our attitude. And Charles Swindoll ends that quote by saying that I am convinced that life is 10% what happens to us and 90% how we choose to react to it. Every time I read that quote, its truth becomes more and more evident to me. And if you remember nothing else from my comments tonight, please remember that you and you alone choose how you will act. You and you alone are responsible for your actions to things as they occur around you. And you alone are capable of determining your future and your happiness. I can tell you with confidence that the most wonderful, exciting, and fulfilling times of your lives still lie ahead. As you move on and accept exciting new challenges, remember the success of your accomplishments tonight. Remember how very good it feels to have reached this goal and build upon it. Keep your zeal for life, your self-confidence, and above all, open your minds to the possibilities that change presents. And keep a positive attitude regardless of the circumstances. As Theodore Roosevelt once said, "Far dare it is to dare mighty things to win glorious triumphs, even though checkered with failure, than to take rank with those poor spirits who neither enjoy much nor suffer much, because they live in the gray twilight that knows not victory nor defeat." As I mentioned earlier, this is a beginning, it's not an end. And I can also tell you without reservation that the outlook for the rest of our lives depends to a large extent on our willingness to continue learning. Whether we choose to continue doing so formally through community colleges, universities, trade or technical schools, or less formally through the military or on-the-job training, it is imperative that we continue pushing ourselves to learn new things. It is imperative that we continue demonstrating our willingness and ability to achieve and to learn. One of my hobbies, apart from being a state trooper, is internal medicine. Dr. Bauer is a protege of mine and is one of the preeminent physicians that helps me along in understanding internal medicine and laser surgery and laser technology. It happens to be one of my hobbies, and he's one of the preeminent doctors in this area. This is one of the ways in which your lives have just changed. Up until now, your goal to learn has been clear. Whether you chose it for yourself or your parents chose it for you is immaterial. The simple fact of the matter is that you've had a goal to learn and to graduate from this high school. And after years of effort, you've succeeded. For many, the next goal is clearly in sight and you've already taken positive steps toward achieving it. But for some, it's not that easy. And I speak here from personal experience. For some, there's a great deal of uncertainty surrounding your future, and to those of you, I can only say that it's much more important to continue learning something, anything at all, than to be content with what you've learned up until now. As I work with Dr. Bauer in the area of weaponized chemical and biological warfare and the research that's into that whole area, he keeps opening up realms of new information for me. And not all of that education and not all of your future education takes place in a traditional classroom setting. In fact, it's my experience that even though formal education provides us with a framework for critical thinking, it's our application of that thinking to our own personal interests and activities outside the classroom that really stimulates our growth, our understanding, and even more importantly, our wisdom. So the outlook for our futures depends almost entirely on our eagerness to continue the process of learning, either formally or otherwise. I also have to stress the process of learning involves much more than simply acquiring new skills and knowledge. It includes accepting personal responsibility, understanding personal insights, and perhaps most important of all, continuing to develop our own personal values. I spend a lot of time at our State Police Academy in Hershey talking to our new troopers about personal values because they're so important to our success, not only as professionals, but also as people. Personal values are those beliefs and principles, those codes of conduct, those ethics by which we choose to govern our own lives. And because we choose them for ourselves, they become a central part of our beings. Because they reside so deeply within us, we tend to think they don't show. But personal values are not something we have. They are what makes us what we are. They're not something that we have to explain to anybody else. They are something others can plainly see, simply by watching us and what we do. As I've so often stressed with those under my command, the values of honesty, integrity, embracing your work, and loving and caring for one another are central to both our professional success and our relationships with those around us. Establishing personal values is based on the notion that there are immutable principles that govern human interactions, natural laws in the human and in the spiritual dimension that are just as important, just as real, and just as unchanging as natural laws in the physical dimension, such as gravity and centrifugal force. The magazine Psychology Today had a report a few years ago about a survey of over 1,100 CEOs of major corporations around America. These chief executive officers, it's not important that they were chief executive officers, except that it demonstrates conclusively that they were people who knew how to set goals and go about achieving them. In the study, the executives identified their number one asset as, anybody have any idea what their number one asset among all these 1,100 CEOs was? Their number one asset was their integrity, and their number one priority, and never forget it, was their family. And ladies and gentlemen, there's a lot we can learn from that example. As an employer of over 5,600 troopers and civilian employees, I look for people in my organization whose lives are governed by personal integrity and who project that integrity through a positive and constructive attitude. I look for people who are team players, but who also have the ability and the initiative to think and to act independently. I do not look for people who have given up their individuality or who have become yes people, nor do I want those whose primary objective is to obstruct the progress of others. I actively seek out those with differing opinions, and I ask them to share their perspective and to make recommendations. And all I ask is that they be able to rationally and persuasively present their point of view. Some of my best decisions have been based on the ideas and the recommendations of those who disagree with me. I firmly believe that no organization, no government, no country can continue to grow and to prosper if it permits one person or one small group of people to do all the thinking and limits the input of others. Don't ever let that happen. Although the Pennsylvania State Police is a quasi-military organization with a very formal chain of command, We encourage our troopers to think independently and to apply their own individual ideas to our common goals and the situation at hand. In order to encourage that kind of independence, we need to be certain that the attitudes and the integrity of the troopers leading our State Police Academy are above reproach. And I know that that's one of the goals of the Upper Dauphin High School as well. In addition to being the key to our professional success, integrity and a positive attitude are the most important elements in our quest for personal happiness and fulfillment. The way other people respond to us, whether they are strangers, colleagues, family, or friends, is a direct reflection of the image that we project through our integrity and our attitudes. This is one of the first lessons troopers must learn before they begin dealing with the public. As you can well imagine, the integrity and the attitude projected by our troopers has everything in the world to do with how citizens respond to them. And the same applies to all of you. Don't expect to get a positive response from others while you're radiating negative energy. It just isn't going to happen. Over the past 30 years as a state trooper, I've had the good fortune of working with thousands of dedicated men and women, not only in the police vocation, but also in another number of other professions. And I can tell you without hesitation that integrity and a positive attitude have been an integral part of everyone I've come to genuinely respect and admire. Many of these individuals are not the heads of companies. In fact, most aren't. And by some of the more commonly accepted standards, a few of them might even be considered failures. But in each and every case, they are all people who have chosen their priorities honestly and honorably, and they've committed their lives to the pursuit of those priorities. They have committed themselves, first and foremost, to a higher form of authority, to their God. They have committed themselves to providing for the physical and emotional needs of their families. And they have committed themselves to the success of their employers because they understand the inextricable connection between their employers' success and their own. Regardless of their other priorities they've chosen, every one of these men and women lives his or her life in an honest and an honorable manner. They live their lives by giving the very best to these people and the things that matter the most. It's not important that they aren't out every day performing heroic deeds. What is important is that they go out day after day and they consistently do the right thing in the right way for the right reasons. Not surprisingly, life is so much easier, and it's also easier to maintain a positive attitude if we choose occupations and professions and vocations where work presents or represents more than just a paycheck. Not only can we earn a living doing what we love, but we owe it to ourselves and we owe it to those around us, whether we're in medicine or whether we're in the police vocation or whatever profession you may choose, to pursue that very end. I've learned that it's only when we're doing what we love that we truly feel energized, excited, fulfilled, that we radiate optimism, excitement, urgency, and commitment, and that we build more fulfilling lives, not only for ourselves, but also for our families and our friends. As the noted author and humorist Leo Roston once wrote, and I'm near the end, I think the purpose of life is to be happy, to be useful, to be responsible, to be honorable, to be compassionate. It is above all to matter, to count, to stand for something, to have made some difference, that you lived at all. In closing, I ask that we all continue developing the virtue of courage and the wherewithal to stand up for our convictions no matter what the cost. That we realize that easy push-button solutions to today's complex problems are mere illusions. That we pursue our individual rights and freedoms, but not without recognizing and accepting individual responsibilities. That we live our lives with moderation, and that we take the time to appreciate all the things others do for us. I congratulate you once again on your graduation and on your success, and I encourage you to enjoy the feeling, revel in it if you like, but don't forget to build on it too. Build on it like the rest of your life depends on it, because it really does. Thank you for allowing me to share in your celebration tonight, and may God bless you and keep you safe. Thank you very much.
I just need to interrupt this for 1 second. Would our honor guard please make a left turn and take the seats that have been provided for you? This is not our honor guard deserves a lot of credit here. In all these details, someone forgot to mention that we make a left turn and take our seat. That's dedication.
As we prepare to go out into the real world, we're reminded of all our past experiences. We feel excitement and the anxious sense of not knowing what the future holds and where it will lead. But one thing that will anchor us together will be our adventures in high school. We are shaped by our past experiences. In elementary school, the years went by so slowly. But as middle school passed and high school came, the years went by faster and faster. The many different classes we took will shape us for the future, and we will use the knowledge we gained in them. I'm sure everyone will be happier knowing that there will be no more club periods we have to attend, because those days seem like they were never going to end. The good times and the bad times with our classmates and friends in school, at lunch, outside of school, and in extracurricular activities formed us into who we are. The new friends we made and the ones that moved away will leave a significant impact on our lives. Right now, our lives are filled with lots of uncertainty. There is a lot of excitement when we think that we are finally graduating after so many years. We are busy imagining what the future is going to be like and trying to plan the best we can. There are many questions we will have to ask ourselves. Will we go straight to work, or will we choose to continue our education in college? Where will our friends be? There's a great deal of uncertainty about our lives because we are getting away from our parents and will be finally out living on our own, living a life filled with new responsibility and choices. Remember all the field trips that we took where we were never allowed to stop for Mountain Dew slushies on the way home? Who knows, maybe one day one of us will end up being the executive of the Mountain Dew empire and put slushie machines in every school. No one knows what the future holds for sure. But in 10 years, think of how our lives might possibly change. Hopefully we will be smarter, wiser, more knowledgeable. Some of us will be settled down and have families of 3 with nice comfy jobs waiting for a big promotion, while the rest of us will maybe have just finished college and will be starting our careers. Our only chances to find out what will have happened will be at our class reunion. My experiences at Upper Dauphin have made a great difference in my life and the lives of everyone that has attended this school. My fellow classmates and I would like to thank everyone that helped us in our educational processes here. We are the future, and we must make the best of it as we can. Thank you.
It seems I've only felt On January 27, 1981, Jonathan Andrew Campbell was born. The masses stopped to celebrate as his birth ushered in a new era. Well, not really, but maybe someday. Soon thereafter, the same year, the worst disease epidemic of the 20th century was identified as acquired immune deficiency syndrome, AIDS. On January 28, 1986, the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded 73 seconds after takeoff from Cape Canaveral, Florida. All 7 astronauts were killed, including a school teacher named Krista McAuliffe. On August 19, 1991, the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, the largest communist empire ever, began its inevitable disintegration. In 1987, the public was introduced to the internet, and presently the internet has grown faster than the telephone and telegraph combined. Online services ranging from counseling to auctions and from college courses to stock market trading have become commonplace on the World Wide Web. From 1990 to the present, sports have seen the rise of golf champion Tiger Woods and the race to break the single-season home run record won by Mark McGwire. A legacy was also left behind as Michael Jordan retires. He is regarded as the greatest basketball player ever. On April 19, 1995, terrorism reached a new level as a 5,000-pound bomb exploded in front of the federal building in Oklahoma City, killing 168 and injuring 400 others. On April 20th, 1999, the worst incidents of school violence took place as 2 students marched into a school with pistols and a sawed-off shotgun and killed 13 students and a school teacher before ending their own lives. These are just some of the events that have shaped and touched my life, the lives of my classmates, and countless others. This is what has happened in the world in which we will go forth to find our place and stake our claim. As previous generations were passed the torch from their mentors, so too shall we be expected to carry the light of the world. With this light, we will inherit the traditions of excellence and the problems that have plagued mankind in past decades. Disease, violence, terrorism are some of the problems that we have been passed to solve. If AIDS has not affected those of you with us today, it soon may. As many of us venture off to college, we may find friends stricken with this disease or treat clients for this disease. Regardless of how this modern plague affects us, it is a problem that we will have to confront along with cancer as we take charge of our communities. And it is this problem that we must deal with along with the rising tide of violence. Recently, we have seen violence manifest itself in our schools and our smaller communities. Violence is nothing new and will continue to be a threat unless we take a stand as humanitarians. This stand is not the application of force against force, but a theoretical push towards stronger family values and an increase in common, everyday caring. I challenge each and every one of you here tonight to take time and spend it with someone whom you know is in need of some caring. Whether it is a child, a friend, peer, neighbor, co-worker, or student, take time to find out who they are. Take time to let them know you care, and no matter how great the weight of the world rests upon their shoulders, you represent a helping hand to deal with their frustrations. We live in a technologically driven world in which automation reduces personal contact. It is amazing the leaps of technology that have taken place, yet these same additions detract something from our everyday lives. The thing missing that makes us different from machines, the human element. We need to cultivate this human contact in the face of growing technology. The good of this technology revolution, however, far outweighs the bad. Computers will be the vessel by which we navigate the seas of knowledge and explore uncharted waters of the greatest mysteries that have confounded mankind as we sail into the next millennium. This technology will aid us in curing the ills of our world and confronting challenges that we will face. In years to come, some of us, as leaders of this nation, will have the chance to influence world peace, cure world hunger, and stop terrorism. We may find ourselves witnesses to the worldwide abolition of communism, as people of all nations are free to govern themselves. It will be our duty to preserve democracy and allow nations to hold on to their treasured ideals. In the future, all of us will find ourselves and realize the talents we possess. We will use our talents in the college environments or professionally in our places of work. Many of us may be blessed with athletic talent. Others find their talent elsewhere, in music, art, business, scholastics, leadership, or mechanics. These talents are God's blessings to us, and we do him honor by developing them and using them for the betterment of our fellow man. It is these talents which will allow us to combat the seen and unforeseen problems that lie ahead. Looking at my fellow classmates, I see that the future awaits us is bright, because we are that future.
Colonel Vanko, parents, friends, educators, and of course members of the class of 1999. I extend my special thanks and congratulations to the class of 1999. To the speakers, Colonel Vanko, and to our class speakers, I want to congratulate you for your messages. What a terrific class we have here, class of 99. We have 111 students, I believe, on the stage. We have 2 other students that will be receiving their diploma probably in a couple of weeks in absentia. They've done very well academically, musically, in various contests, whether it be FFA. And today we had a special day, 2nd in the district tournament in softball and 1st in baseball. But they've done but they consistently have done well athletically with the various teams. Academically, the future holds very well for this class. 76% will be going on to further education, and this is one of the highest percentages we've ever had. The popular schools seem to be Penn State and the state universities. 53% will be going on to 4-year schools or a program leading to a 4-year program. 23% will be going to a trade, vocational, or technical school. And we always think not everybody is needed to go to college. We need a lot of people in the trades and vocations. 13% already have employment, another 3% are already enrolled with the armed forces. And the remaining numbers certainly are seeking employment. Last night was a special night. Last night, $119,000 plus were awarded to the students here on the stage. That's about $25,000 more than last year. If they continue to meet the various requirements at the universities or the programs that they're involved in, through 4 years, they could obtain as much as $382,000. This is a tremendous credit to them, their educators, and their parents. Graduates, to enable your life to grow, I wish you the following: serenity, to have an understanding heart; charity, to respect the rights and dignity of others; kindness, to speak softly and listen to the thoughts and needs of your fellow humans; temperance, to understand the imperfections of others; wisdom, to search for truth; character, to have an open mind that is always searching, always learning, and always optimistic; strength, to face the storms ahead, and a sense of humor to see you through those storms; love, to make you content and provide tenderness; courage, to always strive; work that makes you happy; friendships that are warm and fulfilling; and happiness and health each day of the journey of your life. Most of you were born in either 1980 or 1981, like John told us. You've experienced 3 presidents: President Reagan, President Bush, and President Clinton. And many of the things that John enumerated, you experienced, of course, including the Cold War, the pulling down of the Berlin Wall, Desert Storm, the problems in the Balkans, and for the first time a balanced budget. You've given me the honor to experience your 13 years of experience from kindergarten to this very day. And today is a special day for you. Good luck, best wishes in your journey from here on. Thank you.
Good evening. You will be very happy to know that since I am a stand-in and have had little time to prepare for this, this will be a very short message. It is an honor to be here on behalf of the Board of Education. Mike Miller, the board president, had job obligations that took him out of town tonight, but he and all of the Board of Education want you to know we salute those of you who have played a part in bringing about this moment. Faculty and staff, the administration, the parents, families, and friends, last but not least, class of 1999. It has been a combined effort, an effort that at first seems to be ending tonight with the presentation of these diplomas. But we all know that tonight is just the beginning, the commencement, if you will, of the rest of your lives. For some, it is the beginning of another step in your education. For others, it is the beginning of your entrance into the workforce. Some of you will begin a life away from this valley. My challenge to you, the class of 1999, is to use your many gifts and talents in service to others. It may surprise some of you to know that I began my service to the Board of Education before you even entered kindergarten. At that time, I didn't expect, nor could I imagine the wonder of this particular moment. I thank you for allowing me to witness your achievements, and I thank you for allowing me to share in this special moment. Whether in service to the community, in service to your church, or in service to an organization that benefits others, it is important that you volunteer your time, energy, and talents. Volunteer. You are needed. You will be appreciated, and the rewards will come when you least expect them. On behalf of the Board of Education, I congratulate you, the class of 1999. May God's blessings be with each and every one of you. Thank you.
Members of the Board of Education, members of the faculty, parents, grandparents, friends and members of the class of 1999, honored guests, we have now come to a time and a place that has been anxiously awaited, a time of celebration, excitement, and promise. And all the good stuff has already been said. That's one of the things about speaking last. You usually get to repeat most of the stuff that people have presented to you. But there's something interesting in this. I used to prepare this not too far ahead of time, but the few words I have to say have a similar ring. Colonel Evanco's message, Dr. Hill's message, Mr. Henninger's message, John's message, they all basically contain some real similar items, and they're items that are very important. But anyhow, throughout the past few days, you, the class of 1999, have heard much about what to expect in the future as you go about achieving your various goals. Terms such as perseverance, dedication, and responsibility have highlighted much of the rhetoric, and as we've heard again tonight. Regardless of who said what, all of what has been heard was based on experience, the timeless determiner of the only real truths. There is little I can add to what has been said, but one of the words that Father Frank used in his baccalaureate oration still rings in my ears. He mentioned responsibility, and also we heard a great deal about that this evening again, and how it relates to all of us. As you go about your lives, keep in mind not only the importance of responsibility to family, but also the sense of responsibility that defines our own humanity. Never forget the importance of kindness and concern for your fellow man, for these are the acts that determine what we are. For being tradesmen, doctors, technicians, teachers, masons, only identify who we are. Always remember that many times those things that cost us the least are of the greatest value, and so it is with kindness. For a bit of it is of little cost, but of extreme value. I do realize also that there's a time to move from all the suggestions and hopes of the past few days and move to the subject at hand. So on behalf of myself and the faculty at Upper Dauphin Area High School, I wish each and every one of you the happiness of a productive life, the respect of your fellow human beings, and the love of your family. The best of luck and congratulations to the class of 1999. And now before we go any further, I have a request of everyone here on behalf of the class, and this is probably one of the most difficult things that you're going to have to do tonight, and probably one of the most difficult things that you've done in the past 13 years. I know when my children graduated from high school, the sense of pride that goes through us and goes through our heart is very difficult to control. And I know how you folks feel because I've been there. But tonight we need you to do something. We need you to control that and control those emotions until everyone has been presented with their diplomas. That's something we consider really important here because we want everybody to feel what we feel for all these young people that are graduating. Not only your own children, but everyone here. So please do that for us in recognition of the request of the class as we go about the rest of these proceedings. At this time, Vice President Henninger and Superintendent Dr. Hill, I am presenting these young men and women as having met the requirements established by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Upper Dauphin Area Board of Directors for awarding of a high school diploma. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 1999.
Melissa Marie Lahr. Angela Maria Munoz. Allison Ray Getz. Linda Carol Arnold. Raquel Alyssa Reich. Sherry Lynn Johns. Kelly Susan Dreibelvis. Taryn Dane Wenzel. Matthew James Bauer. Natalie Lynn Motter. Desiree Kristen Klauser. April Valin Wiest. Mary Elizabeth Hartman. Rebecca Jean Dussinger. Rebecca Marie Lebo. Jessica Marie Harner.
Jonathan Andrew Campbell. Alex J. King. Alan Charles Weaver. Nicholas John Rickert. Jeremiah Eugene Samansky. Stephen Andrew Stentz. Kyle Marlin Sittlinger. Timothy Paul Neiswender. Clint Lester Buffington. Jeffrey Thomas Welker. Terry Lee Motter. Eric Scott Motter. Anthony Bryan Motter. Jerry Lee Stoneroad. David Harold Boggs. Nathan Donald Barge.
For respect for the rest of the class, I please ask again that you hold all remarks until the end. Thank you very much.
Amber Marie Doyle. Ashley Sue Berger. Pamela Marie Doyle. Brooke Nicole Orowski. Cherry Lynn Weaver. Emily May Nell. Amy Lynn Linker. Nicole Lynn Sadesi. Sarah Eileen Sherman. Danielle Ray Shade. Laura Jane Shade. Kristen Ann Miller. Jennifer Marie LaSalle. Kara Jane Klinger. Christy Michelle Rapamo. Amy Christine Moore.
Jared Richard Troutman. George Hunter. Jason Matthew Stinscomb. Jonathan Richard Long. Andrew Joseph Wirt. Elias Robert Hassinger. Mark Lyle Reber. Russell Darvin Dybert. Timothy Stephen Weaver. Dennis Joseph Kane. Timothy Lee Kissinger. Eric Chris Hoover. Jacob Grant Daniel. Dale Allen Albert. Mitchell Guy Willier. Carrie Miles Hepler.
Jana Skalska. Amelia Joanna Elizabeth Miller. Ashley Marie Elizabeth Enders. Sarah Marie Snyder. Shana Marie Dressler. April Marie Wolf. Heather Sue Holloway.
Jenna Ray Rumberger. Terry Lynn Kidding. Roxanne Patricia Stakem. Amanda D. Stakem. Misty Sue Nobinger. Edie Renee Miller. Adrian Allen Klinger. Jennifer Nicole Weaver. Allison Eileen Kerwin. Justin Daniel Whitmer. Timothy Clayton Kiter. Mark Paul Boner. Brian David Strohecker. Michael Scott Robertson. Nathan Alvin Cucker. Tyler Jack Boyer. Scotty William Klinger. Neil Edward Brown. Brian Charles Haynes. Kenneth Dwayne Snyder. Anthony Paul Mortensen. Mark Theodore Coleman. Troy Edwin Huffman. Jonathan Andrew Clauser. Allison Blair Wolf. Emily Suzanne Clauser. Shanetta Jensen. Jana Marie Harmon. Kara Marie Lingenfelter. Erin Michelle Miller. Aaron Joseph Paul. Dustin Scott Mace. James Arnold Buffington III. Mark Allen Brown. Matthew John Schultz. Jonathan Michael Heim. Terry Lee Grafe, Jr. Andy Wayne Engel. Donald Elvis Ressler, Jr. Jason Richard Brandel.
Dear God, as we stand before you today, soon to depart, let us have your blessings into the future. Help us be happy, be faithful, and be healthy. Please bless us as we bless you, so that God may hear our words, thoughts, and prayers, and hope that they may come true. Thank you.
As the students process out now, it seems like this has been another very, very successful, very beautiful, and very moving occasion for these young graduates of the class of '99. I think it's really neat the way the faculty leaves their position and goes up here and forms a tunnel, if you will, as they do as they call it in football, at any rate, and allows the students to pass down through the tunnel while they continuously applaud and give them the honor that is due them and recognize them on this very special night. So it is very, very nice. As the students will then gather in the center of the field out here, we'll watch them do the toss of the caps, the traditional cap toss, and then after which we will go and down on the field and take some shots of the young people on the field as they greet their friends and parents and classmates again, in many cases, for the final time until a reunion. And one of the speakers mentioned that perhaps at a reunion they would see themselves gathered once again all together as a group. But even then, of course, it doesn't always happen that everyone can make it. Surely everyone will not make it. Some won't choose to make it, and other ones will simply not be there for whatever reason, travel or whatever. So they're getting ready to toss their hats now, and it looks like they've got everyone gathered out there, and they're ready now as they pile into the middle here, and here we go. There it is. Okay. I guess that's the official end for them now, as they'll go around trying to find their hats, their caps, and we'll go down the field and see what these young people might have to say, or just take some good pictures. Big guy here is Jason Brandel, who I consistently misname playing football. Jason will never let me forget it. He just asked me, what's my name? I said, Bingaman. Hi. Nope.
Not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. I want a picture with Troy. Don't you want a picture with Troy? I want, no, I want a picture with I stopped though. Tomorrow will not be called up.
Sitting up there to talk, I'll tell you what.
No, I have. Because I thought I took it off my phone. Well, it's good. On up. Wasn't it really?
Stan knows everything about cameras. Stan knows everything about everything. He's going to tell the lady how to take the picture now. Attaboy, Stan.
podium. Oh, I know.
You guys didn't know me, did you? I walk around like this and nobody knows me. Okay, take care.
All right.
Okay. I keep hugging like, oh my God. Look at this juice blonde hair. How about you? I'll let you. I bet everyone's waving pictures. I can't.
Danielle. Danielle.
Hi. 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 There you go.
You're in class. Those two are videotaped right there.
Hi. Hi, Matt. Hi, Matt. All right. Good job. Congratulations.
Are you waiting for my brother to come back and pick me
This is my best friend. She's graduating next year. We're ready for all the luck.
All right. Very good.
Thank you.
Yep.
Your face is like comfy. Your hair is like dead headed now. Oh, sorry. Do you want Okay, we'll be up there. I gotta drop this off. Oh, where's that?
Your old dad is wandering around.
Hi, Mike. Hello. Mike, how are you doing? The pillow crowd's a little rowdy. Hey, he's going out tonight.
I'm going to Jared's now. Me too.
Yeah, he's going out. That's Jared.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Florida, get out of the picture. Get out of the picture. How's it going, Mitchell! Oh my God!
Congratulations.
There you go. Hi, boys.
Mark, congratulations. Like some old, hey, give me a
Stick with one girl. Not three, okay?
Since you won't be there, yeah, we didn't get that I've never had a complaint with that. Never had a time
Bonnie. Huh? He left. Did he?
Well, as you can see now, the crowd has dispersed. They've gone their separate ways. And this will be the end of our video of the graduation of the class of '99. Hope you enjoyed it. It was a very pleasant evening, as it turned out. I did mention to Mr. Herb the fine way that this was run. The crowd, I thought, was extremely cooperative in keeping everybody quiet during the presentation of the diplomas, and so turned out to be a mighty fine evening, and everyone can be proud, students, parents, and friends alike, as well as the faculty, who did an excellent job once again. So we'll say good night from Upper Dauphin Field as they get ready to dim the lights and get ready for a great summer vacation, back to school next year, back to college for some of these kids, and back here to the old ball field in late August and do some football. So we'll see you then. The events march on continuously here at UDA, and we hope the best for the graduates of '99. Good night and God bless.